Chairwoman Bolin, members of the Public Safety and Homeland Security Committee. My name is Daniel White, and I am the Executive Director of Ohioans for Concealed Carry. I also wrote the initial draft of what would become House Bill 203. There are a lot of good things about Ohio's firearms laws, but we also have some weaknesses. One of these is the current ban on self-defense while dining in a restaurant that happens to serve liquor, even if you're not drinking yourself. This ban puts Ohio out of step with the majority of states in this country, including every state surrounding Ohio. This problem can be fixed by simply adding 24 or so words to the Ohio Revised Code and extend the exemption that already exists for retail stores. This fix is simple and it is clear. If the establishment is serving food, then don't drink and you can remain armed. Now, those who would oppose removing this archaic ban warn of shootouts in bars and servers being threatened at gunpoint or service. I prefer to keep arguments firmly grounded in reality. You heard today from Nikki Gosser. Her story clearly demonstrates what can happen when a law-abiding citizen is disarmed. This isn't rhetoric, it is fact. It happened in Tennessee, and it could happen here. Being victimized by a violent criminal while in the restaurant or while walking to and from your car are not unrealistic examples. Any self-defense expert will tell you that a parking lot, particularly at night, is a favorite location for many crimes. Not only muggings, but also car break-ins. A firearm left in a vehicle can be easily stolen and used in future crimes. Keeping that firearm safely with the citizen keeps them safe and keeps the gun safe. There's a clear and present danger, and you have the power to fix it. Ohio already has an exemption for retail stores where alcohol is being consumed, provided the armed citizen is not drinking. We need to extend that exemption to the retail food establishments and food service operations before a disarmed Ohioan is lost like Benjamin Gosser was. Now, clearly this is a matter of trust. We currently trust the patrons of retail stores that are conducting wine tastings, for example, to be armed and not drink. We trust armed citizens and not be under the impairment of alcohol when home or when they leave their homes. Why do we not trust them when they're in a restaurant? But we will trust them to leave their gun in their car and to not be impaired as they drive home after being in that restaurant. Where's the logic? Okay, let's go back to the claims such as this change will lead to parking lot shootouts or escalating bar fights to shootings. Those opposed to this bill would claim that those possibilities are just as valid as the ones I raised about being victimized, except that they have no examples, only what-ifs. Those things don't happen elsewhere. Why would they happen here? Are Ohioans any less responsible than the rest of the country or of our surrounding states? Now, Michigan's law is a little more complicated. They have a 51% rule. And as Jeff Garvis pointed out, a ban on carrying should be based on the actions of an individual, not their proximity to alcohol within the establishment. With House Bill 203, you don't have to examine the financial records to determine if you can legally carry. But the end result is that you can carry in most restaurants in Michigan. Yet people aren't shooting each other because it took too long to get their quesadillas. Now, Kentucky decided to go with banning only in the portion of the establishment primarily devoted to serving alcohol. Indiana, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia keep it simple. Don't be intoxicated and you're legal. Do we hear rampant gunfire from across the border in those states? Are we really to believe that Ohioans are less responsible than citizens of those states? If this bill is enacted, it would still be a felony for a CHO holder to consume alcohol in the restaurant. Concealed carry in such restaurants would only be legal if the CHO holder is not drinking. This is also about choice. If a restaurant chooses to ban firearms in their establishment, then they still can. I heard someone recently try to use the Route 66 kitchen shooting in Toledo as a reason to oppose restaurant carry. If you recall, a man was asked to leave because he was selling marijuana inside. That started a fight that spilled into the parking lot and escalated to a shootout. By drug dealers who were already breaking the law by dealing drugs and most likely had felonies and were already prohibited from owning firearms in the first place. They certainly didn't have concealed handgun licenses. Criminals will always be criminals. Current Ohio law didn't stop that incident, and it won't stop violent criminals in the future. But this isn't about them, it is about the disarming of law-abiding citizens. The gun control movement is very good at planting wild scenarios into people's minds. Every time gun ranges are expanded, they come out of the woodwork with dire predictions of mass shootings and accidental discharges, and every single time they are proven wrong. This simple fix will save lives and decrease the chance that a firearm will be stolen and used in a future crime. I urge that it be adopted, and I welcome any questions that you might have, and will do my best to address them at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. White. Questions of the committee?